Welcome to Un Café Bilingual Place. Today we are going to talk about our learning strategy number 1, about ourselves. For this opportunity, I want to know how eager you are to learn. So, are you eager to learn? We are going to read some statements. And based on those statements, if you feel that you connect to those ones, please check or tick the box. And if you feel that those sentences that they do apply to you, I want you to give me a cross or leave the box empty. This is an example. I like to learn Spanish. So if you feel that you really want to learn Spanish, please tick the box. If you feel that you don't want to learn Spanish, that maybe it's something more mandatory than something that you really would like to do, so just leave the box empty or use a cross. Sentence number 2. Spanish is fun and interesting. So tick if you find Spanish fun and interesting, and cross if you don't find Spanish as something fun and interesting. Okay, sentence number 3. I read books in Spanish. So you will say, I'm just starting to learn Spanish. But have you ever, for example, just flipped through a book just to watch some vocabulary, some expressions in Spanish? If you have done this, and if you try to read books in Spanish, please tick the box. Sentence number 4. Do you like to watch your favorite movies in Spanish? I know that we usually watch our favorite movies first in our native language or the language that we feel more comfortable about. However, when you have already seen your favorite movie for 2 or 3 times and you want to see it again, do you do it in another language? Do you try to watch movies in Spanish? If your answer is yes, please tick the box. Number 5. Do you like to listen to music in Spanish? So I want you to tick the box if that is your case. If that is not your case, please cross it or leave the box empty. Number 6. I study Spanish on my own. This is to develop autonomous learning. So, for example, when you arrive home, do you try to study by your own Spanish? Do you watch videos by your own? What do you do by your own? So, any kind of activities that you implement to try to develop your Spanish by your own, please tick the box. But if you don't study by your own, just leave it empty or with a cross. Number 7. Do you like to listen to podcasts in Spanish? I know that some people tend to ask me what is a podcast. A podcast is like a kind of channel in which you can listen to different people talking in a radio format or just as a conversational format. Different kind of issues or topics. We can find, for example, iVoox. We can find, for example, Google Podcast, Spotify, and so on and so forth. So, do you try to listen to some podcasts in Spanish? If that is your case, please tick the box. If that is not your case, leave it empty or with a cross. Wow. What I want you to do right now is to take into account the ticks you have so far. So from the 7 different statements, please count the ticks that you have so far. Okay, and keep that number into account. Okay, number 8. Do you write in Spanish? For example, do you try to write, for example, different words or sentences or even some expressions? Do you try to do it? Or even if you have certain kind of level, do you try to write, for example, journals and different things like that? If that is the case, please tick the box. If that is not your case, just cross it or leave the box empty. Number 9. Do you like to learn from your own mistakes? Sometimes we tend to think that mistakes are terrible, but actually if we learn from them, they are outstanding to achieve success. If that is your case, please tick the box. If that is not your case, just cross it or leave it empty. Number 10. I practice my Spanish with my friends. Sometimes we feel scared about practicing Spanish or the second language or the foreign language we are learning because we feel scared about our friends, I don't know, pulling our legs or doing something like that with us. But if you like to practice Spanish with your friends and you take advantage of those situations to improve your Spanish, please tick the box. If that is not your case, please cross it or leave it empty. Number 11. Do you practice Spanish with one or more family members? It is an advantage to have a family member who speaks, for example, Spanish in this case. You have two options with those persons. Maybe you can practice with them, or maybe you don't practice with them, or even you don't have a family member who speaks Spanish. However, if you practice with with one of your family members Spanish, that it's outstanding because that is going to support your learning. However, if you don't practice with your family member, please check what is the barrier that is behind it, or it's just because you feel comfortable talking in English all the time. If you have a family member and you like to practice with that person in Spanish, please tick the box. If you don't like to practice Spanish with your family member, or if you don't have a family member who speaks Spanish, please cross the box or just leave it empty. Sentence 12. I have joined a social network group to practice Spanish. This is very simple. If you join, for example, Facebook, or if you join, for example, Instagram or other kind of social network groups to practice Spanish, please tick the box. If you don't, just cross it or leave it empty. Remember that you can be doing this in a paper, ticking everything or crossing. Number 13. I use different apps and websites to practice Spanish. It is also related to the fact that maybe if you have one app or two apps downloaded, I don't know, and you practice with them your Spanish, tick the box. But if you don't have any kind of apps or websites where you will be or you are actually practicing your Spanish, just leave this space empty or cross the box. Number 14. I practice speaking in a conversational group. There are different conversational groups in which you could practice Spanish. Sometimes the universities, they have these conversational clubs to practice. So if you belong to one of these kind of groups, please tick the box. If you don't belong to any one of these kind of groups, leave it empty or cross it. Now, let's count your ticks. I want you to count all the ticks from the first part, as you could remember, and from this part, so from the 14 sentences, I want you to know how many ticks do you have, or checks. So please start to count the ticks or the checks in this case. So if you have 8 or more ticks or checks, you are eager to learn, in this case, Spanish. If you have 7 or less, it means that you need to implement other strategies, yes, in your Spanish practice to be more engaged with your own learning. In that case, for example, I am going to give you other kinds of point of view or different reasons that you could take for you as part of you in order to boost yourself to learn Spanish. In that case, what I want you to do is to think about the following. With your paper and your pencil or pen, write 2 reasons or 1 reason about why would you like to learn Spanish. What is the main reason you would like to learn it? Write it down in this moment. Now, I am going to show you some options which could apply to you. However, the reason you have already written is the most important one, because that is the key for you to learn it. For example, in this case, Spanish. So now what I want you to do is to check these options and tick the ones which apply to you. Yes, with a tick or with a check. To visit some family living abroad. I have a lot of friends who like to learn Spanish because they are going to travel and they would like to handle the language itself. Or maybe because you want to watch movies in the original version. So if maybe you like some kind of Spanish movies or Latin American movies and you want to check the language itself, there is the way to do it. And maybe it's because you want to enroll a university. Maybe you are going to travel to Europe, to Spain, and you would like to enroll a university there. So tick if that is your case. And for example, to talk to foreigners. Sometimes people travel and they don't speak English, and you want to help them to be understandable. So in that case, there could be one possibility. Or if you are going to travel, you want to talk to foreigners about their culture. For example, if you want to go to Mexico or I don't know, to Latin America to practice your Spanish. To read different sources of information. You know that besides English, Spanish also has a lot of websites and Google information that could be very relevant to your own field of interest. So try to tick this box if you consider that that is one of your of the reasons you would like to learn. To travel, that's one of the key of the main reasons to do it. If you want to travel, for example, to Mexico, to Latin America, to I don't know, Argentina, Chile, and so on and so forth, that's one of the ideas, of the great ideas yes, this is one of the great ideas or the great reasons to learn Spanish. Besides that, it could be because you want to become bilingual, or because the state or the place you live in yes, it develops bilingual environments. So, or just because you want to become bilingual and you want to expand the way you are thinking about society, culture, and this is connected to expand your mind. You know that when you learn a language, you are expanding the way that you are thinking, and you can get access to direct sources of information, such as books, original books, movies, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in the previous exercise, take into account the tics for those reasons in order to reinforce the reason you have already written. And I hope you have found some key reasons to learn Spanish. So I hope you have enjoyed this activity. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a like if you want more information related to this. And thank you very much, merci, grazie, dankeschön, gracias, arigato gozaimasu, and so on and so forth for watching this video, and I hope that you have enjoyed a lot. Okay, thank you, bye.